all these little things would go wrong. Like, they bagged spicy terry in the Hawaiian chili bags. And the workers are like, well, you told me it was hot. Well, you said it was spicy. Well, no, I said it was spicy. I'm like, wait, it doesn't matter. Not being educated on the business side was a challenge for me because I had no background. I didn't know how to do the spreadsheets in the beginning and incorporate chart of accounts on our book system. And like, it was all new to me.
From RISEHI, this is Why Not Me, a show about Kama'aina creators, entrepreneurs, and community leaders. The behind-the-scenes stories of how they got to where they are and the valuable lessons they learned along the way. Okay, I want to welcome my next guest to Why Not Me. We got Blaine Apo, founder of Maui Crisps. What's up, Blaine?
How's it going? Aloha.
Yeah, so Blaine, if you guys have not tried Maui Crisps, you guys gotta try it. I think for me, it's the best beef jerky out there. But it's almost like it's a different style of beef jerky. I don't know. You probably can explain. So it's so thin, so it tastes like beef jerky, but it's thin like a chip. So maybe you can explain it, Blaine.
So my crisp is a thinly sliced, dehydrated piece of beef, dehydrated to a crispy texture. Now, crunch, there's a difference between a crunch and a crisp, I would say. But other than that, yeah, it's not like your traditional chewy jerky. It's more of a cross between a Pringles chip and with the flavoring of beef jerky.
So ono. And we talked before, and I know your story, and it's a pretty interesting story because you came out of college and you were doing you Maui boy, right? Went to college, and then after that you became a welder and you were doing some jobs, and then you transitioned to driving trucks. Not too long after that, you had an opportunity for your father-in-law who presented, hey, he owns a gas station, and basically gave you and your wife the opportunity to operate and run the gas station, right? How long ago was this?
So that was back in 2014, I want to say.
Yeah.
Is where we started up there.
So most people think, hey, wow, you get to run the gas station. That must be a gold mine, right? But it wasn't, right?
No, it was not at all. My brother-in-law had been running the station for my father-in-law, and they had enough and they were out. So when we took it over, when we were given the opportunity, we needed to make some major changes in there. Costco had came in as part of the reason why they left. Costco had taken a lot of the gas sales.
Mm-hmm.
So when we got in there, it was basically upside down, and we had to turn it around and try and generate more revenue. All in the meanwhile, while we're doing that, we did like samurai ice cream, which is popular in Oahu. We did poke.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to do a bunch of different things that wasn't available at gas stations at the time. Thinking outside the box and just steady on the hustle. And then I was actually trying to make pipi kaula to mix with in a container, like parfait kind of deal, with the pipi kaula on the top and poi on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
As a part of our poke display case menu items on the menu, whatever you want to say. And while making the pipi kaula, the ends would come out thin, so I kept trying to change that. And when we first tried it, it was like, wow, what is this? This is pretty good. It's like a potato chip. So we kind of almost scratched the pipi kaula and just strictly changed the thin, crispy chip, and here we are today.
So again, the reason for you having to experiment and doing poke and then the pipi kaula with the poi and all that stuff was the one fact that the gas station expenses were increasing. You had more and more competitors, so your sales were decreasing, and you had to figure out some other additional supplement to drive up sales, right? That was your father-in-law would always tell you what?
Oh, you got to
Like
be better and you got to be different than competition. That's what
Mhm.
he always would tell me. So actually, because when we got in there, we couldn't even pay ourselves. Like you said, everybody thinks, oh, you're lucky you go on gas station. And people would tell me that, oh, you're going to be a millionaire. You're lucky you get gas station. I'm like, if you only know behind the scenes of what goes on. Like, it'd be cheaper it'd be easier for my family if I just work on a regular job and go back to the state and go wrench on cars,
Yeah.
But it was a challenge. I like the challenge, and when I started my trucking company, I enjoyed the challenge. It's stressful. Don't get me wrong. No business is any easy to run, but it's a challenge getting over that hump and seeing that light at the end of the tunnel. Is like, whoo! But I mean, it's a constant grind, and the more you put in, the more you get out. Is the way I look at it. So, and it's a lot of sacrifice, but some people are made for it, some people are not, and I kind of enjoy it. I mean, it's in times I'm thinking, shoots, I should have just stayed where I was, but then I look back and like, shoot, this is where I came from, and this is where I'm at now. So
probably for the first 6 months at the gas station, wasn't even getting paid, right? And then you kind of stumble upon this discovery of your pipi kaula, and you said you had a buddy who worked at Foodland who had a meat slicer because you couldn't cut the meat thin enough to get that consistent. So you called him up, right?
Yeah. So in the beginning, we cut everything by hand because that's all I knew. Started cutting with a regular knife as we would clean fish and make the poke. And then I called my friend up, is Keith Gu, working over in Kahalui, Maui, for the Foodland. He was a meat cutter for probably 20 years already. And I asked him, hey, could you help me out cut this meat? So I said, yeah, come over. So we went to their room where they cut where their slicers are. Yeah, and that's kind of where the beginning stages was. And then from there, we gave samples out at our gas station. And then the customers kept saying, oh, well, why don't you sell this? You guys should sell this. I said, yeah, shoot, we package them. So we put them in a regular Ziploc bag, sandwich Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
I think the first month we sold like 25 bags, and then there was no way we could keep up with that. And so we bought 3 more of those smaller, I guess you could call it your microwave size dehydrators. And then I figured, my father-in-law said, well, you think you can keep up with 3 more? I said, oh, guarantee. He said, you sure now? I said, yeah, guarantee. So it lasted for a few weeks. And that was it. We ran out of space. We couldn't make any more, and there's more demand for what we could produce. So, and then that's when the whole stepping up, and like you said, think big. He kept telling me, think big. And I never understood what he meant. And he said, like, reach for the stars. Like, don't stop here. I mean, you never know.
So for those of you who don't know, what was your typical day like when you started on this discovery of making the original Maui Crisps, where you were just making it for your gas station? What was your typical day like?
Typical day is like waking up at 5 a.m, cutting meat, loading the dehydrator, headed down to the gas station to do whatever I had to do at the gas station, pick up the kids from the bus stop, coach baseball, pick up whatever kid we got to pick up, my daughters in hula or whatever. By the time we get home, we eat dinner, help with homework, and then me and my wife is bagging jerky till about 11 at night, and we did that for about 2 years before we got into our kitchen. I think we got into our brand new facility at about ending of 2016, and we fired it up in 2017 and started doing testing. But yeah, my typical day was just nonstop. Like, it was a blur.
And so you've got good feedback from your customers at the gas station, right? You kept on selling out. They wanted more and more. So the next big test was the Made in Maui Festival. So, right. So how did that go?
So it's a 2-day festival. The first day starts at about 2 o'clock to 5, I want to say. It's a 3 or 4 hour, and it's just a buyer event. So just within that day, I think we sold maybe 600 or whatever in the first 4 hours. So the next morning, which is open to the public on Saturday from 9 till 4:30, I want to say about 9:30, we were selling saris until the end of the day. So it was like, wow. I mean, everybody that tried it liked it, loved it. We even had vegan people try it and don't even eat beef just to do a sample. So,
that's when you know you got something good, when the vegan guys are trying that. So, that needs to be That needs to be a testimony on your website, bro. That's how good Maui Crisps is. So
My uncle would come and help me from Colo Ranch, the first one that we did. He's the meat market manager, the livestock manager, I should say, for Colo Ranch. So he knew how to talk to people. I didn't know how to talk to people. So
yeah.
just treat them like fishing. Just throw the palo out there. They will come back. I said, okay. So we'd make little sample bags and watch this. They, oh, you like good sample? Oh, no. Here, just take this. And we'd give them, and they would walk down. He'd be like, watch. He would turn around. Sure enough, here he comes around, turning around, coming back. Oh, that thing was good. I like my bag. So it's like, okay, this is how you do it. So after that was like, it's just get it in their hands, get it in their mouth, and then it'll sell itself.
So, you ran in this gas station, you started to make these Maui Crisps, and they started to pick up. It wasn't smooth sailing, as I know, I've talked to you about, there's times where you're doing this and you're having long days, and there's times where you were driving home where you were like, wow, what am I doing? Right. There was a lot of different times you were hit with this.
So this one saying always stuck behind my head, because it started from when I had my trucking company. So I started with one truck, and then it got busy, and I bought another truck, and I bought another truck. And then before you know it, I wasn't a driver. I was just like the tire guy, the repairs on the road. And one of the foremans that I would haul for on his job site that worked for Goodfellow, this guy's name is Joe Dixon. One thing he told me that stuck with me till today is, it's always good, he said, boy, just remember this. It's always good to want more, but don't want more than what you need. And every time I would get that stress level high, and I'd be like, and I remember what he said, don't want more than what you need, basically, is what always replays in my mind. And like, shoot, a lot of the times when I struggle, and I listened to Billy Kinoy's speech from the HPU commencement ceremonial speaker when he was there. There was points when we were designing my kitchen and building it, and there was issues with permitting, and I would just listen to his speech. And every hurdle barrier is meant to go over, around, or through. So if, in other words, always can. Like, there's a way to do it. Figure it out. So just pushing, just not taking no for an answer, no can, or giving in. Just a constant battle of, I got this. But not being educated on the business side was a challenge for me, because I had no background. I didn't know how to do spreadsheets in the beginning. It was just kind of we came into the station, everything was set up with the Maui Crisp side. The new side was like, we had to like incorporate chart of accounts on our book system, and like it was all new to me. So stress level, was pretty intense, and it was just like, take a step back, just slow down, because at one point the business just took off and got so far away from me that when we actually moved into our plant, all these little things would go wrong. Like, they bagged spicy terry in the Hawaiian chili bags. And the workers are like, well, you told me it was hot. Well, you said it was spicy. Well, no, I said it was spicy. I'm like, wait, it doesn't matter. We got to figure this out. We got to make put a system in place that will not happen again. It doesn't matter. It happened. But because me and my wife would do it, and my worker at the gas station would do it, we would make the product and we'd bag it ourselves. So we knew what was going on.
We knew how to do it.
I didn't see that coming into this big picture, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. So, I mean, that was a challenging part, setting up all these little preventative measures, small system, putting the systems in place.
Yeah. So, I mean, when it's small little mom and pop, right? Everyone knows what they're doing, right? It's you, your wife, your family, you teach one or two people, but when it comes down to it, there's many times where you thought, shoot, can I go on? Do I, should I quit? This is too overwhelming, this burnout stage. But kind of feel like you kind of sense that formal business background, right? Everything you've kind of learned on the fly. So what kind of advice would you give to a new entrepreneur, a local boy or girl trying to start a business who has no experience in business before, but they have an idea?
Just believe that you can, and don't give up. There's resources out there. Like I said, when one story I can say was when I wanted to borrow money from my father-in-law for my trucking company. And I asked him, I said, could I borrow some money? I want to buy this truck. And I talked to the paving company, and it's X amount of dollars an hour. They're willing to use the truck every day during the week. Okay, there's a big project coming up at the airport and whatnot. So he said, okay, come up, put it on paper. I want to see it. Nothing was on business plans. So I wrote them on a blank piece of paper, $82 an hour times 8 hours a day. I came up, this I can pay every month. And I walked up to him, and he crumpled the paper in his hand. He said, come back to me when you get on real business plan. And I was like, what the hell is on business plan? I thought that's what it was. So for the next generation, don't think that you cannot. You can always do it. I went to the small business development office in Kihei where they offer free help to help you with business plans and whatnot. And that's kind of where I started. And then I bought a book called Business Plan for Dummies.
There you go.
I did a lot of research. Google was pretty much my best friend.
Yep.
Anything you want is available out there. So if you have a dream, go for it. Shoot for the stars. I mean, my father always told me, remember these 4 words in this order: dream, plan, believe, act. If you dream of an idea, you plan how you're going to do it. You believe your plan going to work, and then within your heart, you'll make it happen, and then you act upon it. We're go-getters in Hawaii here. As you can see how much athletes we got and fighters. And I mean, we're such a small little state, but we're making a big name for ourselves. And it's just everybody's on the hustle, on the grind constantly.
You guys no longer just doing beef jerky, right? What else you guys got?
So we're doing fruit crisps. We also launched our second brand. It's called Maui Branded. We're doing gummy bears, some dried shrimp. We just recently did a production of a dried taco. A bunch of different things. Constantly got to be better, and you constantly got to be different competition. Since we started, there's been so many companies out there that's doing jerky. And
so real quick, I want to touch on, you started with just beef jerky, right? Just thinly sliced, and you didn't know what you was doing, right? And then now you've got all these other products, and it sounds like you picked up a lot of confidence on the way. So why don't you share about that real quick?
If you do it with your heart and you care about what you do, it'll never turn you down. You just use your heart. I mean, and then your heart will, like every decision we want to move forward. And I got stuck on certain decisions on what we should do, buying equipment, and I could never ever come with an answer, yes or no. And then until I always said, well, when my heart's ready, it'll tell me what I should do. So when you get that relaxed feeling, like, okay, I'm making the right choice. So, and just going through the experience of seeing the people's reaction when we would release a new product. I'm like, oh, this one is mean. And like, okay. So then after that, you just gain confidence and you'll know what it takes to make it work. So whatever you do from there on out, I mean, I could even transition to doing something out of the food industry, but it's just a matter of knowing within your heart that you believe that this thing will work, and it'll work. It won't prove you wrong.
All right, Blaine, jumping over to Flashback, one of your Instagram pics on Maui Crisps. What are we seeing here?
So this is our first Made in Maui festival. We get second place for booth decoration, and it's like a new product booth decoration awards mixed match from the mayor. It was an award from the mayor. So this ribbon on here, I was like, okay, it's made me proud. And I told my mom, I said, next year we're gonna get first place. And sure enough, the following year we won first place. But it was a determination to not just go there and sell bags, but to have a nice little image. So it made like a little country feel. Yeah. I bought these boxes from Target or Ross's, I think it was, and we stained it ourselves. So, I mean, that was a huge accomplishment when I saw that when they announced the winners, and I was like, wow, hey, right on.
Yeah, hey, it's about building a brand. It's not just what it tastes like, but what it looks, what the emotion they get when they visit your booth. So you did a great job. All right, last part of the show is the speed round questions, right? So I'm going to rattle off a bunch of questions. First thing that pops in your head, you said, right? Ready? Last movie you watched?
QB1.
Something that makes you laugh?
Someone else.
Okay. A moment in your career that stands out?
Sitting in my truck and crying, stressing out.
Hey, you got stronger from that. Go-to karaoke song?
I don't even really sing, but if I had to sing, I'll sing Three Little Birds.
Bob Marley. Perfect. If you can have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Anthony Robbins.
Somewhere in the world you want to travel to?
Europe.
All right, last one. One piece of advice you give someone, a local boy or girl graduating high school or graduating college, and they're trying to figure out in the world today. What kind of advice would you give them?
If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything in life. Nothing will stand in your way. It's just determination, hard work, and being persistent on what your goal is, and never giving up.
Right on. Hey, Blaine, appreciate it, man. Hey, best of luck. I know with COVID-19, things kind of slowed down, but knowing your perseverance, drive, and ambition, you guys are going to bounce back strong, and looking forward to seeing what other products Maui Crisps is gonna bust out. So appreciate it, brother.
Right on, Gay. Thank you. Hello, everybody.